Also, my co-host is the one, the only.
DLD After Dark, here to throw some Pew Mongous all up in your face with a very fun and fancy episode.
I mean, it's pretty fancy. I'm seeing
hmm
a lot of some people in the live chat already. I see Johnny Barr out there, ADF Firearms, which I believe is ADXR 920, channel member over on my side. I believe to you as well, Dark.
hmm
What is going on, guys? We are ready. I hope you guys are ready to have an amazing show. This is going to be awesome. One of my favorite firearms in the world. We're going to be talking about the Scorpion Evo. S Scorpion Evo S1, not
Evo
the
3S1.
Evo 3 S1. Sorry, that's the designation. Yes, there
Yeah.
is a carbine. There is a Scorpion 3
Uh,
plus
oh,
Scorpion
the worst
Micro.
thing. The worst thing they could have done, that 3 plus. We could talk about that too. That was just
Oh
such a
yeah,
mess.
that's why I want. That's why if we'll get into this later on, but I think this Evo 3 S1 is the best configuration of it.
Agreed.
Uh,
I got
so
an idea. This thing that's been doing so well, let's come out with a new version that takes different magazines.
what?
Like what?
I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, dude, they destroy like everything. There's not even magazine reciprocity between the two or commonality between the two. It's stupid.
Gay.
At least that is the way I understand it. Maybe there's reverse uh magazine common
There's
whatever.
got to be an adapter. Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
the Scorpion Evo it has been and is probably still. Are you not live on your side?
I am not. It is not showing live on my side. I'm giving it a second to kind of double, triple check, and it is indeed not live. Oh, it's
Remember, there's a
okay.
20-second delay.
It's hey, and we got 11 people in there. Kurt 24, Delay Man, Toy Town. Good to see you guys. Sorry about that. It was just a few minute delay.
Probably this Florida heat. So yeah, let me put you on full screen so you can at least show. You are the one that's been kind of holding the fork down with guns that we're talking about here. I haven't. I think last 3 episodes, I'm like, I don't have that gun. I don't have that gun, and you're just like, hold on, wait a tick.
I have one.
Yeah. So explain what you got going on.
So this is a fun one. This is the CZ Evo 3S1. However, it's got some fun stuff on it. So this, I originally was going to SBR it, and I purchased this back when they were like $625, and
Oh.
yeah, and now they're like over a G. It's insane. But what I wanted to do was make it like a little PDW, right? Uh, I was going to SBR do a Form 1. However, I purchased the original OG stock. It's got the Stark Industries sticker on there just for funsies. Um, Originally, I was.
What is Stark Industries?
Are you serious?
You mean Strike Industries, and that's just a play on that, or no?
No. So Stark Industries is Tony Stark, who is Iron Man.
Oh,
It's
oh, oh. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's his weapons
Ye-
company. Sorry, I didn't know if
Okay.
you were joking or not. So
No, I thought it was like I've heard of Stark. Like obviously, yeah. I didn't put. I'm a
yeah,
massive nerd too. I should have put that together. Anyway, so you got that looks like a Gearhead Works a brace.
yep. So I did the of course it's all 100% 922R compliant. But this is the Scorpion Evo 3S1. I was, like I said, gonna SBR it, so I bought the stock completion kit. However, and this is way before I even knew Walt, I actually also bought the Safety Harbor Firearms Picatinny aluminum Picatinny adapter. I was about to run a different brace on it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going full ham. Bought the adapter for the Gearhead Works, which I guess is supposed to be used like this. We don't do that. We we run it like this. And then also, it's got one more cool thing. Boop, boop. There's
Oh, you have that $450 trigger in there.
Yep, and I got the $700 one in the MP5. But we're talking about the Scorpion today. Sorry. So I also got some of the banana mags from PSA. So I coupled them because it comes with this banana coupler. These are the
Oh, I didn't know they made them. I thought they were Magpul mags at first when I saw the coupler.
So these are the PSA mags. These are the plum ones because I'm a sucker for plum. But
Oh, if you're a sucker for plum, I was talking with Walt, and he's like, "Hey, check this out." He had an original Russian plum 545 mag.
nice,
I
nice.
saw that. I'm like, "Oh, dude, Dark would go nuts over that."
I got some of the original Circle 10 plum mags for 7.62 by 39.
Yeah.
But this is a great gun. I've run the same Aimpoint T1 micro clone from Primary Arms on it.
You're gonna hate me because I was like, "Do you have a True Glow on that?" Because I
Oh,
literally looked at that and I'm like, "That looks like a True Glow for a second." I
oh
didn't want to
God,
say
no,
anything.
I could never. The reason it looks longer is because it has the kill flash on it.
That's okay. That's why it was throwing me off.
Yeah, yeah. So it's got the kill flash on it. Like if I spin the kill flash off, and no, I'm not muzzling myself, just so y'all know. Man, it's crazy how that depth perception will get you,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Um, whatever. It shortens it down to like there and looks more normal. But I love it. It's been a great gun. This one has not exploded in my face like some others have.
That's
And to
good.
make a little bit two quick things, and then I'll shut up. So they finally changed the thread after a little
Yes.
bit after this was released.
We are gonna get into that.
Yep.
Just
This is one of the old ones. So I had to use a CNC Warrior mount that is rock set on here to a half by 28. So 18 by 1 right hand to half by 28. And then I rock set on there myself with a Sig Sauer amount of rock set.
oh man. Oh, I would
Yeah.
hate to be the guy that has to rip that off.
Yeah, good thing there's no like reason or compliance reason. I've run the piss out of it, dude.
I
Like
can
look
tell. Yeah.
the color like I've cooked it literally. And then lastly, because I when putting the binary trigger in here, you you have to make sure it depending on which model you have. If you got one of the older models, then you may have to dremel a big tall piece of metal out of this. This one was like the Gen 1.5, so I got lucky and just dropped it in. But this does have the binary trigger. I've never had an issue, never had an out of battery, obviously, and yeah, it's done really well. It's probably got like
What type of
six,
pistol grip do
7,000.
you have on that? That doesn't look stock. Is that Yeti Works?
This is Apex.
Apex.
The
That's why. Okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
say it's a nice. That's a nice grip. It's more of a vertical, very vertical.
yeah,
So I do like it. I have had a lot of experience with the carbines because that was one of the only carbines we could have in Massachusetts.
yeah. It's on that grip, and that's one of the points that I wanted to hit. I'm sure we'll hit on it too. That grip is only optimal for a platform that's shouldered, right? Like when you get it as a pistol with no brace or stock or anything on it, that drastic of an angle is only optimal with a weapon system that's being shouldered. And even then, it's too much. So I still switched over to the more straight Apex
Yep.
system. And then they came out with a lot of other options later. Like I was upgrading this shit when there was like almost no stuff available. And then lastly, I took the SIG because I wanted to give it that old school like PDW kind of look to it. I took the rail covers off of my SIG SWAT SBR and I literally took a
That's
razor
awesome.
blade and cut them down to give it that like fat front end look to it.
That's awesome.
And
I thought they were nice government handguard covers. I was just like,
a
damn,
lot of
aren't you
people
fancy?
when people like get their hands on it, they're like, damn, like were these like custom made? I'm like, yeah, with a razor, like So yeah, it's cool and I love this gun. Um But once I got my MP5, I kind of shoot this a little less. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I love MP5s. I enjoy the Scorpion a little bit more, but we'll get into that. But as always,
Yeah.
guys, we always start off with a spec sheet. We're gonna go over a quick spec sheet on what the Scorpion Evo S1 pistol is. This, obviously, it's considered a handgun.
Mhm.
It is chambered at 9 millimeter. If you guys haven't told, the magazine capacity is 30 plus one, but they also make 10 plus one mags for not free states. I believe they make a 30 round mag. PSA also has, aftermarket magazines, Manticore Arms, Strike Industries. A lot of people have aftermarket magazines, but this is
35. They also make 20s too.
yeah. So you can get a standard magazine capacity of 20 rounds plus one in the chamber. That is the standard capacity of it. It's a double stacked magazine, which is cool. It's a fiber reinforced polymer frame. The grips are what the fuck. Oh, he goes back and forth. The grips are polymer, adjustable for reach to trigger. Most people swap out the grips on these pistols anyway. It's actually a single action trigger, which is pretty cool. Adjustable front and rear sights. Barrel is cold hammer forged, muzzle threaded 18 by 1 right hand, and they also have they have a half by 28, but the first
Yeah.
generation models were 18 by 1, and they
Which is so stupid.
fucked up on that. The pistols come with a barrel length of 7.72 inches. The overall weight is 5 pounds. Overall length is 16 inches. The height is 9.4. I don't know what people would matter on that one. And it has an ambidextrous safety. And they come in gray, FDE, OD green, black, and I think for a while they came in like a very like limited edition blue.
They did make a blue. I'm not gonna lie. I was super salty when I bought the black because only black ones existed at that point, and then the gray came out.
I
I
want the
was like,
gray.
oh, if I ever found a blue, ooh, because it's kind of like that Keltec blue, bro. I would jump through. And for those
So
out there that are just really quick, for those out there that are curious, like if I got a Scorpion, what should I do with that stupid set of 20 round mags that they give you? What you do is you take some electrical tape, right? And then you run the 20 and your binary trigger, right? And then you just flip it around and then, you know, and then go to town. I'm just saying, nothing else makes sense, y'all. Like they're just 20s.
I did. Again, I'm so new. I'm still new to like standard capacity magazines. Like
That is a new thing, right?
it is for me. I like we used to sell the 10 round mags. I used to have to pin the 20 round mags.
Those
They're like
little guys,
yeah, it's
the
like a
base
BX
plate
20.
stick. Yeah,
It sucked, but I don't know. I like the 20 round mags personally, just because like I don't know. It fits that gun aesthetically, but I also
yeah,
really enjoy the Manticore Arms 32 round mags that they make that are
those are great.
clear.
I got a
Those are
couple of those. Yeah,
perfect. So
35 rounders are just so annoying.
I know, and PSA just having to undercut everybody and say we're gonna make a magazine cheaper than all y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah,
So,
$15. There you go.
God, it's trying to have a little bit of a monopoly. But we all have PSA, and I think they made a smart move by making that magazine. And that magazine also is the body style for a lot of other firearms. So CZ decided to make. God. Already starting early tonight, dear Lord. All right. So the CZ Scorpion Evo S1 was actually made as the Evo 3 S1 is the civilian version of the submachine gun for, I think, the Czech military uses this. And starting in 2015, the Scorpion was sold to the U.S. as a pistol with the 7.72-inch barrel and no stock.
Mhm.
Thus, it was a pistol designation. It's been probably one of the biggest sellers for CZ, as it is one of, if not the cheapest SBR PCC you can get on the market at the
Yep.
moment.
Yep.
One of the cheapest, because right now they're coming in MSRP at current market value is MSRP is $849.
Really?
Yep, for the Evo S1.
That's not bad. Out here, they go for a grand,
Yeah,
1,100.
they go for about a G. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's one that I was looking at, and it was like 950.
But now you get your paperwork back in a week. So back then it would be like when they first came out, it'd be like under a grand to SBR it. Now,
Oh yeah, I
you
forgot. I
you know,
forgot. Yeah, if you want to buy, obviously when you buy the pistol, you SBR, right?
yeah.
So that's really not that bad because you got to
Oh yeah.
consider you pick up a PTR MP5 clone or a Century MP5 clone. That's about with shipping. That's about $1,200,
Hmm.
and then plus the tax stamp and the price of the stock, you're at about 16.
Yeah.
And then as Chris Vector, that's
Oh yeah, definitely.
nuts.
Most
Um,
sub guns that are like fieldable, like good quality, they're gonna be much closer to two stacks.
even an 8KV from PSA, those
Yeah.
guns are about $1,100.
Hmm.
Base price as a pistol, you're still going to be at about 15.
Yep.
So just think of it like that. So yeah, in 2015, this gun came out, and I think it kind of set a standard because you got to think this gun, the Scorpion, you get that name recognition because
Hmm.
obviously it drives on the VZ61 and 32 ACP.
Yep.
CZ has this name recognition with the Scorpion, but
Hmm.
also it kind of was one of the first, not one of the first, because Chris Vector or whatever, Chris Industries or what the fuck they're called.
They tried so hard to bring the
The
PDW
Vector.
tag. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to knock it out of the park, but also they started to cater to a younger generation
Hmm.
because you hear the name Scorpion. How many of kids that in our generation use the Scorpion in James Bond GoldenEye?
Dude, and also the Call of Duty
Yep.
Nuketown, I was running around with a Scorpion when I think the Scorpion was one of the first Call of Duty guns that I
Yep.
did actually own, and that was, like, a huge deal. It's a silly troll, but, like, dude, my nephew, when I took him shooting and I was like, "Hey, check this out, it's a Scorpion," but they were smart because it's the Scorpion Evo, which they said was the evolution of the
Yep.
Scorpion. The original 32 ACP VZ61 was such, like you're saying, it was like such a uh I guess the word it would be like prolific
Yes.
tanker sub gun. Like that was like it still is a great firearm. So this is kind of the natural evolution, and I think, like you're saying, Chris tried, right? Chris Vector tried very hard. Others tried very hard to kind of reignite the subgun game, but I think you're right. I think the Scorpion literally brought the subgun
Because
game back.
yeah, because at the time, Chris had the Vector. They had the 45, and then they came out with the 9 because people were realizing that they wanted to rather shoot 9. It was more economical.
Hmm.
But at the same time, that gun still came in at $1,500.
Yeah.
Then you had Sig with the MPX. The MPX pistol was extremely popular, but that gun came in more than the Chris Vector.
With the
So
added benefit of $70 magazines as well.
Exactly. $70 magazines. That is atrocious.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious. Um, there wasn't really that many PCCs or subguns
Mhm.
because, Ruger had their 1022. I mean, Ruger also had their Camp 9 or Marlin Camp 9, and I think Ruger had a similar one in 9 millimeter. Um, there wasn't that many PCCs. Like, yeah, Colt had their 6920 and 9 millimeter, whatever the hell they're called,
Yeah.
the Colt subgun.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much. Like, you can get an AR9 from like Aero Precision or like something like that. But this was the first of its kind where it had a proprietary mag. It had that curved mag that everybody liked because it kind
Mhm.
of drew from the original VZ Scorpion.
Yeah.
Um, and they're kind of getting to a younger crowd right out the gate. I think everyone kind of adopted it because you got to think this gun came in, but the problem is there was two things this gun had issues with.
Mm-hmm.
And with, this is not firsthand knowledge because I'm more versed on the carbines just because that's my experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dying to get myself a pistol forever, and like that, I wanted that to be my first SBR before the when I'm doing with Matador arms.
Yeah.
But it's got the way to work. But I still desperately want a Scorpion. I think it's an amazing platform. But it started off with came in as a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
So certain states like Massachusetts couldn't have it.
Yep.
California wasn't on the handgun roster. Anywhere that had a handgun roster, you weren't getting that.
No.
Then you look at the thread pitch. It came
Yep.
in at first with an 18x1 right hand thread. What the? You know what is that?
Yeah. And literally nothing in the West at all uses an 18 or 18.5, whatever it is, but like no one is it 18 by 1 or 18.5 by 1?
It's 18x1.
18 by
And I
1.
see Mr. Bullshitter out there. What is going on? Thank you for joining
What
the
up?
chat. And Christy Trottel, what is going on, my love?
Yeah,
Thank
good
you for
point.
joining.
Kurt mentioned the Ruger PC Charger that did come out after and I think kind of that's the
Yeah.
point Joe's making is that like a lot of firearm manufacturers had to make an adjustment and had to add other sub gun or PCC. I just like the term PCC. I'm sorry. It's just the sub gun is like such like the 1980s like
Yeah.
submachine gun SMG kind of,
Well, this the at the at Evo 3, yes, the Evo 3 is the civilian version of a
yeah.
fully automatic Scorpion Evo.
And you can tell by the bolt when you take that mofo out to clean. That shit's like 12 pounds. It's like
It
is
is.
heavy as my Sig 556 bolt. It is insanity, but I digress. But yes, I agree. Other companies did start to come out. Like you said, Chris had been around. They were doing this for a while prior to that. There were other companies out there, making sub guns or PCCs, but Scorpion did at a time like a $650 retail price, I guess, because it wasn't the
Suggested,
MSRP.
suggested because again, they were still coming in at about
Eight
eight
850,
eight
yeah.
fifty $900.
Yeah.
But when this gun came out, it had the horrible thread pitch. So it kind of aesthetically, you had to get a pretty dumb adapter that extended the barrel like you have, and which allows it to take a standard thread pitch for most suppressors because this gun is literally screaming to be suppressed.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It's a
it's a
game changer.
yeah,
And
it's a
blowback.
it's a blowback, so it suppresses. You don't get the gas in the face like a traditional AR-15, but
Mhm.
also I think they still do with this is they have plastic feed lips on the magazines, meaning they're not metal reinforced. So they
Some of them,
were
yeah.
they were like the 20 round mags were
Just plastic.
just plastic.
And they cracked all the
Yes.
time.
So I don't know if CZ has fixed that problem,
I
but
believe they did with the new black magazines. I have one over there, but it's too deeply hidden to test it. The what did you Manticore?
yeah, Manicore came out. I think Strike Industries has the metal feed lips too, if they still
Oh,
make.
okay. I haven't grabbed one of their mags. I had just stacked uh, the 1599 PSA mags pretty deep. The Magpul mags, they're not steel reinforced on the feed lips, but they're excellent. They're 35 round mags as well. And all of these magazines, even the standard Scorpion ones, that I just kind of use them as range mags, but they do work as long as they're not already cracked. Because I figure once they go in the gun, if I need to use the gun for any usage outside of fun at the shooting range or sporting usage, once they go in the gun and I drop it, I don't care about that magazine again until I survive a fight. But for the most part, most of the mags out there are polymer feed lips, except like Manicore, and some other. I think the black one from CZ has the steel reinforced feed lips, but The Magpul ones run totally fine. I've had zero issues with those.
Yeah. So that was probably the saving grace of this gun is that the aftermarket picked up on it
Yeah.
and you were able to get higher capacity with steel reinforced, but the magazines worked because the guts of the gun is the magazine. And if the magazine sucks and shitty, no, that gun's not going to take off. But you are, Kurt 24 is right though. The Scorpion comes out. What other companies start releasing PCCs? Ruger comes out with the PC Charger, which
Hmm.
phenomenal gun. I love that gun.
Yeah.
Um, then you have B&T come out, and they had the GHB 9.
Yeah. There's a couple Stride Hog.
Yeah, grasshopper. What they had like a grasshopper eating a scorpion.
Yeah, it's like GHB something. It's a
Yeah, like whatever. It's a GSB 9. It's essentially a B&T with a curved magazine, and it tried to be the Scorpion killer. Then you
yeah,
have the Streebog, the Grand Power
yeah.
Streibog.
Which they
That
had
gun,
tremendous problems with that.
there's so many different variations. It goes from there's like 5 generations with 7 different types of feed, 7 different types of magazines
Yeah.
compatibility. So that
The
gun just.
the IWI micro the new micro Uzi. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, man, and JC9, shout out to you for
Oh
bringing that up.
yeah, I always forget the new micro Uzi from IWI. That thing's a
Because dude, it looks like someone took a micro Uzi and then melted a polymer clamshell around it and then was like, throw a pick rail on it. And then just like that's it. Like I could never imagine that unless it was a machine gun, I could never imagine running something like that.
our good dear friend who God rest his soul, Richard Hoffman. I
Mhm.
asked him what he thought of that, and he was just like, "Oh, it was fucking stupid."
Yeah, dog shit, dog shit. I asked him the same thing. That's too funny. And I think he literally was like, "It's horse shit." Like, you know.
Rest in peace, Hoff. I miss him every single day. Oh god, the sheer comedy that dude had, and
Oh yeah.
just the knowledge too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have the IWI. So a lot of companies like kind of then PSA came out with their AKV, which I would say is the Scorpion's direct competitor. To be quite honest, for what the AKV is and what,
Yep.
and then you have Kalashnikov USA. They
Mhm.
had the KR9 or KP9, whatever. I know
Yeah.
the KR9 is the rifle, KP9 is the pistol. I've shot the rifles, phenomenal
Mhm.
guns.
And there
But
were still a lot of other like already in existence, like obviously the CMMG Banshee had been
yep,
in existence.
yep.
The what's that other POF? The weird POF. It's proprietary mags. I always thought when I looked at it, I thought that it was a Scorpion mag that like maybe they made, but I guess like after trying to fit like 10 other magazines in it, we found out that it's a proprietary magazine. I don't
I
even.
don't. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name. I'm not very well versed on POF. But yeah, no, there was, and then yeah, CMMG Banshee. But then also you got to think too. What are all the guns that kind of came up before that? Their baseline was between 16, 17, all the way up to like $2,500.
Oh, it's called the Phoenix.
The
Right.
Phoenix, yes, that's what it's called. I knew
Yeah.
I know exactly what that gun is now that you say that.
Yeah.
And POF,
Dang.
that POF is probably upwards of two bills, like two stacks. Like it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think it's like at least 12 something, if not more. And all it is just a scaled down micro AR9. It's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't excite me. Um, oh, some other people are, hold on, let me see. POF, MP5, MKE, MP5, of course. Those are,
Yeah, MP5. Yeah, that the
yeah.
MP5 is in a class of its own, I think, because the MP5 kind of started it all.
Yeah, they were I mean, there were so many different well, not even variants, different companies manufacturing MP5s, and then there were a whole a whole bunch of other subgun, you know, uh, attempts, but none of them stuck like the Scorpion did. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's still, it's still chugging along. I did just see, I think yesterday on Reddit, I saw an alert that was like, my Scorpion blew up. And I look, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just, I know sometimes I piss some people off, but the guy was like, I was using really good quality Fiocchi ammunition. Now, let me just say this. Most of what Fiocchi has made for decades is incredible ammunition until the release of their range um, range dynamics and training dynamics. That ammunition is absolute horseshit, and it's. I'm sorry to say that I use it all the time. I'm sitting on thousands and thousands of rounds of it, but there have been a lot of other reloaders and people that when they get 1,000 rounds of ammo, they literally mic it. They mic every single round. They take a micrometer to every single round and they look at the specs. And Eagle Run 2-3 did this recently too with their range dynamics and training dynamics, and their shit was 30% of the 1,000 rounds was out of spec constantly. And this guy was running training dynamics or range dynamics through his gun, and his shit blew the fuck up, had an out of battery detonation. He had to get the entire firearm replaced.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
But then of course he was like, no, no, it wasn't the ammo. It was a gun. They said it was a firearm malfunction. I'm like, yes, but anyway.
How
Or it
about
could have been
this?
a double charge.
How about this, dickhead? You got a new gun out of it. They
Yeah.
took care of you. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, why does
Um,
it matter if it's the gun or the ammo? Just
it's
say
like,
what it
dude, like
is,
shit
bro.
happens. Like something you throw a human element in there, a mistake is going to be made here or there. Thank God it didn't cost him this
Yep,
guy's life.
yep. Still
But
has all of his digits,
yes, yes,
so
those all his fingers. CZ took care of the guy and they're replacing him again. Shut the fuck up.
yep, yep.
Don't go on Reddit and try and trash the company and trash this. It's like I hate you people that do that.
I was actually surprised he didn't even tell the company like, "Hey, just so you know, I posted this on Reddit and I'm gonna be posting updates," and they just took care of him. No questions asked, no bull within 10 days, he had a new one in his hands. So I was like, I'm impressed, and,
Well,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
so the there, it's not like the gun didn't have some faults at first.
Mhm,
Um, then it was quickly the aftermarket quickly got into um kind of got into line because this gun proved itself.
mhm,
Everybody, all the big guys had everybody had one. I was very interested in the gun.
mhm,
But there was one thing I do want to point out, guys. If you do get a Scorpion Evo pistol, I think it's still. I don't know if they're still if the new ones are made in the U.S. or still made over in the Czech Republic. But since it is imported, it
mhm.
falls under 922R compliance. So if you're going to brace it or actually does it work?
Well, now it would be only if it's a rifle. So if it's a
So if I'm going to
fire
SBR it, I have to 922R compliance.
correct, yes,
Okay, yeah.
technically.
We are not lawyers,
Yeah,
but what 922R means is you have to meet certain parts requirements for it to be a rifle in the United States, even though it's imported as a pistol, and
yep.
you're going to SBR it, so you have to get a kind of expensive 922R compliance kit. But what you can do also, you don't have to get the one from CZ, as long as you know the parts count, which I think for rifles it's what 9 parts.
I thought I knew until I actually
It's six.
started.
It's 6 or 9 parts over. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, so I started reading into 922R compliance. There is no just answer, because I always thought it was 5 US parts and you're good.
Yeah.
Nope. It's like based on all these things, it could change. So if people are really committed to following it, then read into it. All I would say is that there's never been any human being ever.
It's an add-on charge.
Yeah, yeah,
They can't enforce it.
yeah,
You'd have to be doing something illegal to begin with.
yeah, Yeah.
to get caught doing it. That's how they're going to catch
Which
someone.
we don't encourage, believe it
Yeah,
or not.
I don't encourage doing something illegal.
Yeah.
I am just, again, guys, I am checking the chat. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot them down below. Or same as on Dark's side. If Dark,
We're actually getting a lot of people that so Strybogs, IWI Uzi Pro, which is the silly newer micro Uzi, KUSA KP9 and PSA AKV. Yep.
yep,
Oh, I think we got that back. Or no, maybe not.
yeah, we got them.
Um in honor of my spoof name, I have to bring up the P90, says Snoring Rich, of course. The MKE MP5, the POF MP5, the SMG 45. That's true. So I was only thinking 9
oh
millimeter.
yeah, oh yeah.
LWRC came out with their version of the
UMP
UMP. Yeah.
that was outrageously expensive. Um,
Yes.
they
And
were
dope.
yeah, it was dope, but they were on heavy drugs.
23.99 or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god, I have a friend of mine that has an SBR of that thing, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Absolutely, why? He's like, bro, this thing is sick, and I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
and like I will say, like, this guy does well for himself, like has
Yeah.
everything Q you could think of, but he bought that, and I'm like, that is so gay. Like,
In fact,
it's a cool, it's a great gun, but it's just for the money. You're getting it updated UMP, which is
yeah,
like,
if I'm putting in 23.99 or whatever the hell they go for nowadays, bro, I'll tell you straight up, I am going to do
I
the OG UMP. I'm
yeah,
not gonna, my buddy had one built at a local builder out here, and I don't want to say the name because it's like in like one city over from me, but they
well,
did an
actually,
excellent job.
Tommy Built is
Yeah,
he's the one also doesn't, but granted, Tommy Built charges a lot for
yeah,
his
you'll
conversions.
put three grand
Yeah.
into it.
So then it comes back to the Scorpion is literally under $1,500. You can get a pretty sweet SBR 9
Yep.
millimeter, sub gun. Now I do want to get into, but what was it uh, whoever what you named one of the listeners, I forget. Um,
JC9,
yeah, JC9. Yeah.
the HKUMP, the SMG 45. What? Which one are you talking about? Oh,
Then
Barton Fink.
yeah,
Which one are you referring to?
I don't know. Before I started saying something, you said I remember. I'm trying to make sure that we kind of address everybody's comments if they have anything.
Oh yeah. I was just going. So they're all naming those firearms. So I
Okay.
just went through. They also mentioned the MP5 in 40 Smith and Wesson and 10 millimeter. Any direct blowback is capable of going boom in and out of battery situation. Of course,
Yep.
absolutely. That's one of the things about a direct blowback system. And of course, it's not only direct blowback, right? That's why our AR bolts lock the way they do. That's
Yep.
why the system is set up the way that it is. And that's why some of the most incredible weapons designers and developers have done, honestly, really incredible things with the inner systems. Otherwise, over the last 100 years, we would have had way more massive growth in firearms, but because these mofos did such a bang up job, I'm saying like, dude, John Moses Browning, we're using his machine gun like 120 years later.
Yeah.
Like that is insane, or 100 and some odd years later.
Yeah.
Obviously, the excuse me, 1911 is less fielded than it was before, but it's still very popular. The Eugene Stoner, dude, he created a system based on a piston system and called it direct gas impingement. And then everyone believed him. He lied to everyone. It's
Yeah.
kind of the piston, but
Yeah.
excellent system. The way it locks up, the way it releases, the way it trips the sear, the way it's like a guarantee of not having a gun explode in your face. And even if it does, it fails in one of two ways. And so I think they did such an excellent job with Mikhail Kalashnikov, Eugene Stoner, John Moses Browning. They did so much work over 100 years ago, or over the last 100 years or so, that they've kind of made weapons manufacturers and designers and developers' lives a little bit easier.
Yeah. Exactly. And as long as a gun doesn't blow up, I think that's a win. So let's kind of go into like what you wish the gun did, because like you wish changed a little bit? Because the Evo S1 I feel still is the best version. I've shot the micro, it's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the S3 plus and the S3 plus, whatever. They kind of changed the design aesthetically. I think it's ugly. I like the look of the Evo 3 S1.
Yeah, the
Um,
Plus looks so stupid.
yeah, and but the what do you think they should have changed with, or like what are your like kind of like downsides with the gun?
Look, as far as I love the blowback design, and at the same time, I hate the blowback design. Aside from a couple things we've already called them out on like the stupid. I guess it's normal for them to have 18 by 1 right hand muzzle devices. Out here, it's not. Sorry, guys. So that and the only other thing is if you look at this system, if you look in this area here, so much of it is blank. I just wish all of this was filled up with more options.
Yep.
Aside from that, I look, I'm really not. I'm gonna have a tough time, but I'll probably need you to go first and then come back to it. Look, the fact that they made the actual Evo A1 be safe, semi, burst, and auto in one fucking pack, dude. That's and you got like a whole paragraph of selector options there. It's like insane, you know. So, man, I wish I had that. But yeah. Aside from that, not a whole lot wrong with it. You go first, and then I'll come back to it.
So
I got a
I
couple things. Sorry, I just thought of. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So here are my two things. Obviously, the thread pitch. I think that was stupid. They should. I'm glad that they started coming in half by 28. Um, I am a big proponent of the system and how easy it is to again customize. But my thing is the grip. Like
That
it,
was literally what just came to my mind.
yeah, the grip is my. I understand like that is designed like that grip was designed for a specific type of shooter, and I don't know, like I do like the fact that the you're able to change that out so quickly,
Yeah.
and it's super easy to change out,
Yeah, it's
like
literally one screw, and the cool thing they did is they did one screw on the side instead of like everyone else, every other
yeah.
design. You know what? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and I do like that. But the grip that the Scorpion comes with, it's not as ergonomic as you think. After extended
Yeah,
periods of shooting, you're going to start developing almost like a Glock knuckle on the trigger guard.
yeah,
And the other thing I'm not a fan of is the safety.
yep, yep,
So the safety, it's just kind of awkward. It's awesome, ambidextrous. That's cool. I'm a right-handed shooter. I'm not a wrong-handed shooter, so I don't really give a shit about left ambidextrous stuff.
yeah,
Um, but it's just again, it's just when you're flipping it, I think it's you flip down for fire or
yeah,
something like that. It's gonna rub on your fingers and it's just gonna
yeah.
cause a callus. There's a good company, Stuff and Things Inc. They make a safety delete.
Yeah, there's a few
Uh,
companies
the
making delete.
Yeah, making the ambidextrous delete and solves that issue. But out the box, those are my three kind of complaints about it. I wish they could have changed when they brought it to market. Even in the carbines, it's kind of the same issue. I know the carbines are 30.5 by 28. If you guys have ever seen the most viewed video on my channel, it's on how to pin and weld a muzzle brake. I actually used a Scorpion Evo carbine. That was the one we used in a VG6 Precision Epsilon brake.
Nice, nice.
So that is my story with the Scorpion. Those are the things I think I there it's downfall. But the
Yeah,
aftermarket, I still think with me, you and I, we love tricking out our guns.
yeah,
I get very artistic into all the when I buy a gun, instantly the first thing is, all right, what can I put on this thing? Who makes aftermarket
Take
parts?
A2 grip off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take almost instantly. All
Yeah.
right. But you get awesome companies like Anderson with their Frontline series that they put the Magpul K2 grip on there. So,
Dude, there, you know what? I'll throw this out there now. Thanks to you and you giving an introduction, I will be having Anderson Manufacturing coming on the
my
DLDM.
man.
So, yeah.
I can't wait for that. Oh my god, I'll actually watch
Well,
that live instead of on the. I always catch those on the replay because I'll listen to it when I'm at the bench or something like that, and I'm gonna watch it live. I'm gonna fuck with Kyle. Kyle's my man.
well,
He's.
you don't have to wait too long because it's happening in 3 days. So
I know. I can't
pumped
wait.
about that.
So it's gonna
Um,
be Tuesday.
yep. Tuesday night, we're doing
My
that.
man.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. Yeah,
My
and you
man.
know what? As far as like the dislikes for the Scorpion, so I guess I really had to go back to like when I first got this thing, and several sub guns ago. Yeah, I mean the grip, I got a couple of them because I got the 922R compliant SBR kit. So I had the one that I bought the pistol with, and then the second stupid one that came with the kit, because that's US made, right? The one that came on it is Czechoslovakian, but it is so dramatic with that rearward angle. I almost want to grab it and show it to see, like, so people can see how dramatic it is.
Yeah, it's not like a 90 or a 45. It's like at like a
It's almost like dude.
yeah. It's
It's
at
like,
a
yeah, it's at like what do they call those? California. It's a
yeah the whale tail grips.
yeah, the shark fin shit, the
Yeah.
featureless. It looks like a featureless grit. Like that's how
Yeah,
bad it
yeah.
is. But I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so if you're running a sub gun and you're shouldering it, okay, you can more comfortably handle a little bit more rearward angle. If you're getting this as a pistol, and people were getting this and running this as a pistol on a single point, uh, it's not anywhere near remotely comfortable at all. So the idea of a subgun style firearm is, to run from the shoulder. So running that with that standard grip was just absurd, and it has a big old like conal, almost like magwell kind of thing at the bottom. So that was definitely whack. It took probably a couple years for the aftermarket to really open up, so that sucked. Maybe that had to do with how many units they were dropping. I don't know, but whatever they did to slow it down or didn't do to not speed it up, that sucked. Definitely the as it comes, the selector is a pain in the dick, and it will rub the shit out of you until you bleed. Like I literally bled. Then I got the safety delete. I got like one of the stupid off-brand ones because I just needed it to be, to work functionally on the left hand side. Well, on the right side, which is for left hand shooters, right? But once I switched over to the Franklin Arms binary trigger, or Franklin binary trigger, they did a really good job shortening the left hand side one, right? But also how you typically have a little fin that sticks off your safety, it's a little shorter too. So even when you run it, it doesn't even and the chamber's cold, guys. Yes, hot mag, cold chamber, whatever. It doesn't even touch your finger when you go to the trigger. So that's definitely great. The one thing I absolutely hate in every way is the fucking AK safeties for Scorpions.
Really? You
Stop.
don't like that?
I despise it. Dude, I want AK safeties on nothing. I don't even want AK safeties on my AKs. Like it's I just don't get that. I guess if you can sell me one true benefit of the AK style safety in a Scorpion, I'm all ears. I want to know. All right, so let me know. But aside from that, obviously the muzzle thread sucks. It made me have to extend my shit by an inch and a half, which is ridiculous.
I'm wondering if my Osprey will fit on that, on something like that, because the Osprey is kind of like a squared off can. So I'm wondering if I buy one, will I have to get the adapter anyway because I have to extend it a little bit for the suppressor to clear. I'd have to try it.
It'll work. I mean, you want to run the fixed one instead of
Yeah, the
the
fixed barrel instead of the piston. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's I mean, so yeah, we're kind of all in a group. I think we're both in agreement on some of the downsides of the gun
Yeah.
that they should have fixed before it came to production. But
Positives though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
positives, I will say, um, affordability is always my biggest thing. Magazines work, and the aftermarket has magazines that work. Like
And
they're
they're
not,
inexpensive.
yeah, and it's not like Pro Mags. Don't ever buy Pro Mags.
Yeah. No, don't.
They're trash, absolute trash. But you get magazines that work. The aftermarket really takes HB Industries. I think is knocking it out of the park with aftermarket support for the Scorpion. Like HB Industries, I think it has the best trigger on the market for the Scorpion. I know there's a couple other companies that make aftermarket triggers, but I always tell people go to the HB Industries. It's a flat faced, skeletonized aluminum trigger. Like as a gunsmith working on them, I've never had a lot of issues that wasn't user induced. But they are super easy to work on. Like CZ sells all the jigs to because the trigger has like a square body. CZ and HB Industries sells all the tools. The range gun at Cape Gunworks is an SBR Scorpion S1.
Nice.
And that gun went down hard. It had hundreds of thousands of rounds through it.
I believe it. There are Czechoslovakian SWAT dudes like breaching a house right now with these.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. You can run them like they're like trucks. You can run the shit out of them like for real.
And the good part is that CZ has every little nook and cranny, spring, detent, hammer, trigger bar, screw that you can buy on their website. So you can get replacement individually. It costs, I think it was like $200 to get a complete lower parts kit for the trigger group, because not only did I had to replace, all the springs and detents and triggers, I had to replace the bolt release. I had to replace a couple other things. CZ had all those. I could order it directly from the manufacturer. I don't have to go through any bullshit like I have to do with Ruger to get detent spring for a Mark IV. They're not like, hey, send the gun in. Hey, send the gun in. No. They'll send you whatever you need. So you have that compatibility. You have the ease of working on it. Again, I've installed many Franklin Army triggers. Woo! I was gonna say, do not let that SOB fall. Oh, that ain't like the Gazelle. Okay.
Yeah, the Giselle.
Yeah, the Giselle.
The Jezebel.
That literally Rich wants to put chalk paint on there. Like,
dude,
it's a disgrace. But I think it's the positives outweigh the negative with that gun
for sure. And at the time when this came out, because there was so little on the market, there wasn't a lot available, and most items that were coming out, companies were trying to have the lowest perceived cost available. So when you were buying like AR pistols, AR, rifles, or AR9s, most PCCs, what did most of them not come with on the top of your pick rails?
Real front and rear sight.
Correct. When this came out and everyone saw it and was like, hold up, I got very, very nice low pro
metal
sights. Yeah, that are not only metal, they're crazy solid, like you're saying. They're serrated, they're excellent. There's like 4 apertures on this motherfucker, man. Like it's like one. So hold on, let's see.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I love that combat sight, just all the way opened up. I like that. I just need a front sight. I don't even need a rear. Some of my Glocks I don't even run a rear sight on. Don't tell nobody. But these have been great. And if you for some reason need to rip off your red dot or whatever, throw the QD lever, throw that shit, and you're running very nice serrated or metal sights. I don't think. Well, the base is steel, the top is aluminum, but I think so. Let's see. Let's see if they're magenta. Oh well, yeah, they're steel. Wow, that's pretty dope. Yeah, but that was such a big deal for at the time sub $700. Well,
And
what?
yeah, sub 7, but you get iron sights.
Yeah, like that's crazy. At that time, you could get an AR and 9mm for $1,000, depending on what company they come from, and your fucking flat top of your receiver is just empty.
A Sig Copperhead in 9mm is about $2,000, and they don't
Yeah.
even come with front and rear sights.
And at that point, so here was my outlook on this. So at the time, hang on, let me put this back here. I'm playing with fire with that. At the time, like the Jizzly, yes. Oh, thank you, Kurt. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, dldhardware.com. And I think I may have forgot to take the coupon code F the ATF off on July 4th. So you may still be able to use that on DLD hardware. But the Copperhead or whatever it is has like a freaking 4-inch barrel, right?
Yeah.
The so many of these sub guns are super micro, and they're literally like the barrel length of a Glock 17. So I'm like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna run a pistol then, because yes, there's additional points of stabilization and contact and all that, but like even like this, like I posted a short on YouTube with this little guy, and it's a P80 frame and a dagger slide Gideon Optics Omega, which is dope, and then it's got the Recover Tactical brace on it.
Nice.
And it's a little poor man's SMG, Uh, yeah, I
At that point, you could that Recover Tactical rig is like what, $150?
yeah, like 120, something like that. Yeah, and you can find them for less sometimes, but like if you're looking at a $2,000 unit that has the same barrel length, that math doesn't math
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah. That's not good math there. But you can get a Scorpion with almost twice the barrel size. You get this, 3 points of contact
Yep. And
and magazines that work and are not $70.
$70 fucking dollars. Yeah. And that's I'm glad you bring that up, and if you want we can end on this too. It's totally up to you, but like I had with what I did professionally, I would meet people all the time, totally random people that were all coming from other various jobs, right? I ended up meeting this guy, and he I have that other story to tell you too, but this was years ago. Um, and I'm like, so what do you do? And he's like, oh well, I'm in security. I was like, oh really? What kind of security? He's like, I'm what the fuck is the presidential detail shit?
Secret Service.
Thank you, Secret Service. Sorry. And I was like, oh nice. So let me guess, you can't tell me because you're on presidential detail. Or he's like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay, sorry. He was like, not like directly, like he's not like part of the small team that covers POTUS. We had a different president at the time anyway. And
You're like, listen, I'm not Eagle. Okay. This isn't
yeah, right.
I'm not on the Eagle. I'm more on like, Prince. All right.
Eagle is down. Yeah, so like we just started talking. I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about what you do, but we can talk about guns. So we started talking about guns, and he was like, I was like, man, I am just so excited because this was when the MPX was coming out. Like the videos just dropped of like the promo videos and shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, we've been testing those for a long time, and they have failed every single standard that we have. So the sub guns that they run need to be able to hit x amount of rounds, 1,000 rounds, x amount of thousands of rounds with zero malfunctions, with zero maintenance, zero cleaning, and they need to do it underwater, wet, not like underwater, but like getting submerged, getting wet, getting covered in oil, getting all this crazy shit. And he was like, I literally, because part of his job was with his team was doing weapons training and stuff based on what he said. And he was like, I literally had to sit there and be like, failed, 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 and the shit's crazy expensive. So he was like, I wouldn't be too excited about it. Literally 2 years later, probably 2 years later, I ended up getting a CC Scorpion because I was like, dude, I'm not gonna pay. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna break the charging handle on an MPX.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know. It just, I didn't see the value, and to pay $79 for a magazine was just out of this world. And I understand that the MPX has come a long way, just like the Scorpion and other platforms have come a long way.
But did CZ beta test a brand new platform on its consumers? No.
Of course not. No, they beta tested it on CZ SWAT or Czechoslovakian SWAT teams.
And they were just like, is good.
Yeah, you go save lives, I hope. You let me know.
Well, I think, granted, Czechoslovakia is not even a country anymore. It's, the Czech Republic.
Wait, that's true.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I was thinking Yugoslavia
right?
too. I think it's just the Czech Republic. Kurt24, I see you out there. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. And also thank you for dropping the Fat Tack link in my chat. Thank you, brother. If you guys are looking to get some exclusive Shooting Gallery merch, check out fattack.com.
Oh, Galil Ace. I forgot about that. Sorry, my bad. I just read that when you were talking. Yes, go to fattack.com and look up Joe's merch because that shit is freaky fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where his hat came from.
I know I did that completely wrong. Most of those douchebags are just like, no.
I think it looks cool. Like you were like knocking the dust off of it, and then it's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's probably some silicon carbide already bedded into the front. Any type of sandblast and dust, a little bit of metal shavings, you name it. There's all that shit
you
on here.
Flick it, and you're like like coughing.
Or I'm just like, oh shit, something got in my eye. Oh no.
Yeah, a freaking metal fleck.
That's one of my worst fears. That's why I wear eye protection, guys.
Always.
But yeah, so I think obviously, we're coming up on the hour here. The Scorpion Evo S1. Don't get the Evo 3. Don't get the Evo 3 plus. The carbine. I know the carbine. They are looking. I think they discontinued it last year or the year before.
What?
Yeah, they don't do the carbine anymore.
I did like that little 11.5-inch pistol with the little booster can thing on it because it's like perfect to.
Oh yeah. I used to have to crank that shit off.
That's right. I think about
because on the rifles they had like a faux suppressor.
Yeah,
that went under the barrel, and that was not they were not. Massachusetts was not having that.
They did come out with a full length 16.5-inch barrel model or pinion welded 14.5 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was. No, I know for the rifle they did just have a 16. I know they've had like a pistol,
the faux suppressed one.
The faux suppressor under the handguard. It had a little bit longer.
It was like 12.5 inches with a faux suppressor. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, the rifles are cool. They discontinue them, unfortunately. I think they actually just came out with a 22. I have never shot it. I've handled one. Pretty cool. But I think, we always say hot or not, obviously hot. I'm waiting. I don't think that we've had a gun on this podcast yet that we weren't like, well, granted, Pride Month, we all kind of shat on every gun on that list.
That was funny. I would like us to do like a sub gun Sunday or something like that because like I know it's not in the spirit of what we do, right? We usually pick a gun or a series of guns, right? But It would be cool. Like I like what we did for Pride Month. I think if we did that maybe like once a month and just did like I don't know, a category of guns and then had like a hyper focused, episode on like each one thing.
Yeah.
We're never gonna run out of guns. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we're in a particular situation where there's never a gun to talk about. We could,
Yeah.
it's very easy. This show is very easy to do because we're going over how it affected our lives and like how it affected our industry that we love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think obviously it's a go. Like it's hot, like
Yeah.
smoking hot. Um,
Definitely.
I mean, if this was a Chris Vector episode, I'd be like, yay.
Yeah.
I like it, like cool idea. Practicality wise, I'm all set.
If so I would also say gay. However, when it comes to the machine gun,
Yeah, machine
absolutely
gun. Oh,
100%. That design, like it doesn't even fucking move when you shoot it. It's just like just standing still in time. It is insane.
as a semi-auto though, I'm not paying two grand plus a tax stamp to get a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 gun.
Yeah. To get a
Then
big rectangular block this big that has a
then you add in
system.
the price if you want to clone it correctly from Call of Duty, putting the EOTech on there. Like no, like dude,
Yeah.
no, I'm
And
all
it's
set.
not like it's the same kind of thing. Like some of these guns, like, okay, if you say like, is it a go or a no? Is it hot or not? Is it like in the comments, like let us know. Would you smash the CC Scorpion? Yes or no? Right. But like I would say it's 100% a yes for me. I mean, clearly I have one, but like I would say there is something I would rather have than a CC Scorpion uh 3S1, and that's the A1, which is the full
Machine gun.
motherfucking automatic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like that, of course. The all other predecessors, Gen 2s, 3 pluses, all that stupid shit, like the
Don't buy
and
it.
somebody please confirm if um oh, thank you, Kurt, man. You guys are so awesome, dude. Goonbeam is out there. My man, you the man. 4.5 inches is perfectly serviceable.
My
Of
man
course.
Goonbeam. I
Yes.
actually talked to Goonbeam yesterday. So shout out to Goonbeam for those who have actually
Nice.
used my affiliate link. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And
Bam.
I'm excited. Oh yeah, I actually have a Goonbeam right here. Look at that, right on my carry gun. Check that
Look at
out.
that shit. Hell yeah.
Okay. I think my batteries are dying because it's the center beam, which is the I forget what it's called. Um, oh, look at you! You got a DLD branded one.
I may have a few.
Oh, look at that! I can't wait to try out his new rifle light that he has that he wants to send me.
Dude, it's
Um,
so dope. So
putting it
dope.
right on the front line. Can't wait. So, Goonbeam, what's up, buddy? Thank you for it. Was a good conversation. He said something that I had that went right over my head, and I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm a gunsmith from New England. I have no idea what you just said. He was just like, LOL.
Yeah.
But anyway,
100%.
guys, well, we are over the hour, and we appreciate you guys listening in. Next Sunday, we got to figure out. So we did a rifle. We could do a shotgun next week.
I think we do the calico carbine.
I 100. Listen, hold the phone. I will 100% talk about a calico. Those
Is
things are that gun did so much in so many ways. Okay, I will 100% do a calico.
for sure, dude. And dang it. I got to see if I can. All right, let me just see if I can pull this up just for the lulls. I know, we got to go and stuff, but hold on. Let me see. Stop pulling up my YouTube studio. Let's see if it's in here. No way. Yes, it is. Okay, can you screen share real quick?
Yeah, sure. Hold on one second.
Okay, for all of you guys out there, okay, if you were ever, if you're an 80s kid, okay, let
I
me
have a
get back
screen share. I have
here.
a screen share on too. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so if you're an 80s kid, okay, um and this should not get you a whatchamacallit, because it's just it's a recording, which is not doing it. You should be good, okay? But this is the Calico submachine gun commercial. Every movie we've ever watched from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, if you saw a dude coming out of the water, right, with a machine gun, you knew it was badass, right? Oh fuck, I gotta change my settings before I do this. Otherwise it's not gonna, the sound isn't gonna come through. Okay, hold praise.
And we're on Rumble, guys. That's why we can do it. Make sure you're following me and Dark on Rumble.
Hell yeah. And also, if you want to, you can also follow us on like YouTube and stuff too. All right, ready? We're rolling. 3, 2, 1.
It's already begun. Weapon Systems has begun a revolution in firepower. Based on Calico's internationally patented helical feed magazine, Calico offers an entire family of firearms that give professionals exclusive advantages in capacity, weight, and performance over conventional carbine and pistol designs. From the high-capacity 9mm semi-automatic rifles and pistols to the high-performance select fire platforms, every Calico can deliver up to 100 good reasons why Calico has no equal in firearms technology. Accuracy and performance are the natural results of Calico's superior design.
If we can get enough people out there to say like, yes, do the Calico, and shout out to my main man, Barton Fink. I think Barton Fink was the one that said it. Pew Tang, what's up, brother?
Pew Tang, my man. What's going on, bub?
Barton Fink. Hold on. Sorry, to switch back over here.
I was going to say your audio went all kind of crazy for a second.
Yeah. Barton Fink says, they're hot garbage, but I still would love to have a Calico pistol with an SPR stock or brace. Yo.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would.
If you guys would love to see the Calico be on the list, even if it's not next week, just sometime soon, let us know. Also, we want to get your, hit us up. I've had some people hit me up on IG, and I apologize, guys. I've not been checking my messages on IG and all that. Just shit's been crazy with family and all that.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But let us know what you guys want to see. Hit us up, email on socials, and let us know what you guys want to see.
Hit us up on Twitter too, because Twitter is becoming is starting to be. I'm loving Twitter and how free it is, and it's not censoring.
Yeah.
I am the_real_SG1 on Twitter, and Dark is DLD After Dark.
Yeah, DLD After Dark. If you search DLD After Dark anywhere, it'll pop up likely.
Yep. But yeah, make sure you're following both of us on YouTube. That's where our main pages are. Me and Dark are kind of in a standoff on who's going to reach 5,000 subscribers first. Dark is a little bit closer than I am, but who knows?
What do you think? Where are you at right now?
I'm at 4,250.
I just had a little jump. I'm at 4660 now, something like that.
Yeah, I think you'll break 5K before me.
Well, I also didn't post anything aside from my live streams for 2 years. So
yeah, exactly. And I'm posting every other week. Every other day. But guys, thank you so much. Also, before we go, do me a favor, check out dldhardware.com. That is the place where you can get all your jigs and Polymer 80 stuff. Excuse me, tools. You can get some sweet DLD hardware. That's where his merchandise is. So check him out. I'll start leaving a link in the description on Rumble, not on YouTube, because they'll be like,
Even if you actually, I link it directly. I've never had a problem. I even have the Shiesty masks in not only the Dead ATF variant, but I also have the Kimlight mask as well with the Gucci print. It's pretty dope.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah. I was going to say, what are you expecting to go back to wearing masks again, or?
For various reasons. I saw a dude today walking in my hood, and he had shorts, a t-shirt, gloves, and a mask on.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, okay, so before we go,
Not a COVID mask, by the way. Not a COVID mask. A shiesty mask.
Oh, okay. So I'm speaking of masks, I'm in Florida. Like, it's hot as fuck down here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my office right now, my back. You want to talk sweat back? That's what we got going on right now. So I'm driving on the highway. Okay, like, it's the highway. Everyone's AC is open. This dude rolls up in this like really expensive Escalade, full suit on, long sleeve shirt. It's like 95 degrees out. Gloves, COVID mask. Windows open. Okay, on the highway, windows open, and he has the. Oh Jesus!
That's ridiculous.
Yes. Okay.
My head is too big. I'm choking myself. But
I was gonna say, you look like you got a lot of like tension going on there. Like,
it's tight. It's really tight.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, guys. Thank you for watching the Pew Mongous Podcast. We'll be back next Sunday. Make sure you're following me and Dark on all social media. And if you have any suggestions for the show, comment in this below on mine or Dark's channel, or hit us up on social media, and we'll add that to the list of guns we can cover on the Pew Mongous Podcast. So, peace.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.